Arigoth Indie RPG Devlog number 2. Let's go over some of the stuff that's been added since last time and some of the stuff that I'm hoping to change or add next time. Okay, let's fire the game up. Obviously, we are in the Godot engine, if you guys aren't aware, and I am a new developer. This is something incredibly intimidating to me, but I decided the project I wanted to get after is an RPG of all things. Maybe ill-advised, maybe not, but I'm incredibly excited about it, and the progress has been decent so far. Let's check out what I've done. So to start with, I can't recall everything that was there or wasn't there last time, but let's kind of go over some of the cool things that I'm proud of. So first and foremost, I want to talk about the idea of having a lively environment. I've got these butterflies that kind of move around randomly right now and have a little bit of a sway to them, a little bit of a random speed, and they have a 20-second timer or lifespan, which is kind of sad. But if they are existing in your box within that 20 seconds inside of your viewport, they will stay alive infinitely, but if they're outside, they will despawn. So effectively, they do 20 seconds. That is something that will probably stay in place, but what doesn't happen currently is that they don't respawn. So there will be areas that will have a certain probability of butterflies spawning in and despawning, and I want this to be the case for a lot of the wildlife within the game. So we've got butterflies. Next up, we've got swaying grass. And this swaying grass does have an effect on the player, depending on the density of the grass. Of course, this looks a little bit goofy, and we're going to change how grass is kind of stacked together in the game. But just for an example, this is tall grass rather than short grass that you can see sort of up here. They affect you a little bit differently. The tall grass, when clumped together with other bits of tall grass, can kind of slow you to nearly a halt while you're walking, but not while you're running. So that's kind of an interesting thing. And of course the grass sways, which I'm really proud of working on that little shader and super happy that I have that in there. I've just, for whatever reason, been obsessed with the idea of kind of showing you the depth of the grass and that you can be in front of and behind it. So I'm stoked on that. Same deal for the little flowers. They have a little jiggle. There are way more wildflowers in the game than will probably be in any given area, and I can't even tell you if they're all going to be these colors. This was just kind of an experiment. This was likely there in the last update, but I figure I should mention it. Trying to figure out how to build out a forest floor and how to make things look the proper amount of dense. So basically I added a clutter layer that's between the grass and and I mean the base grass texture and the taller grass and things like, of course, logs and stumps and whatnot. And so that clutter layer kind of feels to me like debris on the forest floor. Still iterating on the idea and hoping to be able to build it out in a way where it feels kind of just, you know, natural. So here are some things that are new. Let's say that this should be kind of the top cool new update that I have since last time. So the inventory system is currently working about halfway. So let's check that out. If you open up pressing Tab or E, we've now got this grid system. We can pick up the interactable items and move them around, and they will stack onto each other and stack onto each other again, and you can place them anywhere that you want to. When you close and reopen, they stay there. If you put the item in hand and you happen to close the inventory, I fixed a glitch where it would just flat out disappear, and instead it goes into the next available slot. But there is a duplication glitch based on this. If I am holding this one and pick up this one, we duplicate the item and it goes to the next quantity in the series. So that is a problem we will have to fix, and I'm sure other people immediately know what this problem is and how it could be fixed, but I am completely new to the complexity of inventory systems and have some stuff to work out. So that's going to end up being there. Of course, stacking will be a thing, as will dropping and swapping places with stacks. So those things are coming, but gradually. They are tough. So here are the things besides the inventory system that I am immediately going to change. Let's stick with the UI for a second. So there's going to be a stamina bar. Currently the stamina bar only exists as this little tiny blue bar that sticks with the character. It is going to be on screen constantly, so that change will be there, and probably stylistically for the moment it'll be similar to what the UI looks like Probably same color though. I do like the stamina bar being that kind of light blue. So outside of UI, I've got these trees that I made. I am not completely satisfied with the scale of them. I want them to be a little bit taller. Super happy you can walk behind part of it, and then another part of it, of course, is a collision, but there is a glitch, and it's really stupid. And that is, you can totally jump through the tree both ways. And so I'm sure somebody out there has immediately an understanding of how that fix should occur. For me, I'm still trying to kind of work out how to have that glitch be worked out. I won't even speculate on it because I have a fair amount of figuring still to do on how that rule system should work. Next, so getting into animations, I'm not happy with the run. Just left and right though. Let's regain some stamina. When we go up and down, I'm cool with that. I like how that looks in general, but left and right feels, I don't know, it's like he extends like too much. There's just something about the animation that I'm not in love with. So left and right animations for run will end up being changed. Next, a small thing, this text. Bones and dirt, nothing more. This will end up changing. It's too big, it's kind of huge. And that'll probably end up being more this kind of shape of text. Maybe. I'm not completely sold that this text will stay in place either. Okay, last thing that I want to say before I get a little too ambitious about the changes that I'm hoping to make in the next devlog. The game's a little quiet right now. And I know that sound systems for a lot of people are kind of the last contemplation. Some people advise that it should be way earlier on in the process, and I want to take that advice. So I have ambitions of doing some ambient noise, maybe a couple of footstep experiments and that kind of thing, and just seeing early on in my process of development if I can't get that in. I'm obviously super new to game development, and making a RPG was a bold move. I know that, and I know that there is just an absolutely massive amount of work in a game like this, and so I'm trying to take it step by step in the direction of whatever my interest is at the time, and keep all of the functions I'm hoping to build out in mind as I go, and attempting not to get overwhelmed by kind of doing it in that way. So hopefully by kind of keeping my interests prioritized first, I never get burnt out on the scope of what I'm hoping to do. But we'll see if that works or not. It's hard to say, and ultimately I just hope that I'm making something really fun. So maybe some sound in the next devlog, but we will see. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you. And if you remember from the last devlog, I ended up mentioning and having you guys listen to a little bit of the soundtrack. So speaking of sounds, the actual rock song that kind of started the entire thing is now going to be available for you to stream, and you can click the link in the description to check that out now. Of course, that is leading into something that's still being developed, which is the orchestral sort of soundtrack-oriented version. This is flat out a rock song, and though it has the inspiration points for what will probably end up in the game, it's its own thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. But besides that, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.